upset.
Huh?
You're getting upset again.
I'm not upset. I just do what I want. Ready?
Well,
Good evening, and welcome to the February 5th Board of Selectmen's meeting. And it was postponed from last Thursday because it wasn't posted properly. So here we are on a Monday night having a Selectmen's meeting. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, opening comments. Mr. Lombard.
Mr. T is the vice chairman. He goes first.
Okay, I'll go first.
Condolences to the Demet family and the Forrest family. If I'm on, yes, I am. That's all my opening comments are. Thank you.
Richie?
The Public Works to continue to do a great job in getting the sand and salt out there. Other people having ice conditions, we seem to have no conditions after the ice. They did a great job. And again, kudos to the fire department for all the working through the ambulance problem and moving several people to the hospital during this change with the ambulance, and hopefully we'll get that fixed and get it on file. But they did a good job, as well as the police too assisted them. That's all I have. Thanks.
Okay. As everybody knows, I think, and I don't know if this was brought up before, but Dennis Ball, our DPW superintendent, has gave us his resignation letter, and we're going to miss him because Dennis has done a great job for the town as call fireman, but he wants to go on to teaching at the academy, and we wish him luck. So, but we're going to miss Dennis because he was a very good leader down there. So, thank you. Okay. Minutes.
I move the Board of Selectmen vote to approve and release the executive session minutes of 12/7/17, 12/28/17, and approve the minutes of 12/18/27, 1/11/18, 1/18/18, and 1/30/18.
Second.
Okay. We have.
27 and 17.
I'm just looking through them all over here. Well, all those in favor, any discussion on it?
No discussion.
No? Richie? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, the motion carries, so we've accepted the minutes. Okay, next in line is, oh boy, Citizens Forum. I don't see anybody here, so the next in line is going to be the Coast Guard Housing Development and Design Update from Pete Barra, the chairman of the committee.
I was actually hoping some of my committee members would come tonight. So I'm sure you guys want an update. You're probably looking for us to be ready for town meeting. I can tell you we've been working pretty hard. We've been having a lot of meetings. We will not be ready for any sort of official proposal in April. However, we would like to present some information, where we are, what we've been doing, and, at least give the town an idea of what we've been spending our time doing. Let's see, we do hope to be ready for maybe a special town meeting in the fall or next year's town meeting. I did plan to bring a recommendation to the selectmen tonight from the committee about the underground storage tanks, but I recently came across some new information, thanks to Enzo providing me a government report that changes when the oil tanks were, what we thought the oil tanks were installed. We thought they were original. They were changed, replaced out in 1987, so they're 31 years old. One other tank has been changed was changed sometime thereafter, and a specialty tank was put in. So currently, there are nine active 31-year-old tanks, one that we don't have a date on that, and 2 that are still in the ground but not in use. So I don't want to make the recommendation until I go back to the committee. However, speaking for myself, these tanks are 31 years old, they're in the ground. There have been issues with water infiltration through some missing caps when the government had the site, and after the government vacated the sites. And a minor leak can cost us anywhere between $75,000 and $120,000 to do cleanup. So, just, the sooner we get them out, the lower our risk is.
How many tanks are left?
There's still 12 in the ground that need removal. I have asked the haul company, we've been working pretty closely with the haul company to get some information on the buildings themselves. And they actually are coming back with just some ballpark pricing, just to give us an idea of what kind of money it is.
Have we taken any steps to go after the federal government to get those, pay for those,
On
storage
the tanks that are in the ground, no.
Don't you think we should?
We are in the process of working on the 21E for Fort Ruckman. That's a more pressing issue, but we have nothing to pursue them on.
Well, they own them. They put them in, so you actually can, because I've been involved in something like this before with waste oil. You own it cradle to grave. They own them cradle to grave. I mean, you can might be able to hold them up on that. And now that it's out in the public, well, you just said there's 2 that are in the ground that are not used. They got to come out. They have to come out now. You cannot wait. They cannot stay in the ground. They have to come out.
Have you converted the heating systems over?
No. I mean, again, that would be part of the process. Two of the 2 that have I guess I'll call them, for lack of a better term, abandoned tanks, those have been converted to electric. So those 2 houses have electric heat.
So that must be expensive.
Right.
Who pays that?
The tenants.
Those have to come out. So we need to get on top of that. They can't stay in the ground. It's highly illegal. And now that it's out in the public, if anybody sees this, the DEP will absolutely breathe down our throat. It's actually the EPA will. So they got to come out.
Why don't we have Dan Script, the town council, draft a letter for us and go after the government and ask them for money. Get a price tag of how much it costs to remove them. You're saying how much to remove them roughly?
Oh, no. The price is, the dollar amount I gave you was if we happened to go to remove them and there was a leak. It could be up to $100,000 for
$100,000 to remove
cleanup.
an oil tank?
No, for the cleanup if there was a leak. We haven't gotten the pricing back yet on.
You haven't gone before
They
your
have to
committee.
remove the soil and all that.
Well,
So
the
we
2
don't
tank-
have that yet.
The 2 tanks that are empty, not being used, have they been pumped dry?
I don't know. I would
Check on
assume
that.
so.
We should have
I
Public Works check on that, see if those 2 oil tanks should be pumped dry. Just like when the sewer backed up, right? We had they've got companies that come in and pump out the oil out of these tanks, so it's empty. So you don't have $100,000. I mean, this is $100,000. God Almighty. So
I mean, I would.
we should do, and then have town council go after them, write a letter to the federal government, EPA, whoever, Coast Guard, whoever was responsible for building those units up there, and took it by eminent domain. I mean, we should, this is, even the whole thing, it's just disgraceful. We had to pay $2 million for the Coast Guard station, and then we had to pay $2 million for East Point, West Point, I mean, these people took it by eminent domain, free. They got it free. It's like Northeastern, they're getting things free. We gotta put the flag in the ground and say, this is enough is enough.
So council has already written a letter to the federal government for Fort Ruckman. They'll have them just expand it to include
Well, I would put a
houses as
separate
well.
letter saying there's an emergency, a very, we've got 2 tanks that are dry and we gotta pull them out of there.
Yeah, I think the 2 tanks may have been done after the government, and I think as far as
Doesn't
pumping
matter,
them
it
dry.
doesn't matter. They built those homes.
Right.
And they put their oil tanks in. So it doesn't matter. I mean, that's all,
They put the oil tanks up here too, up at,
East Point.
yeah, but it was McNaughton's house, I think, the big house, with the tower.
Yep, yep.
And they pulled them out. I believe the government paid for it, so that's why I think that he's right, Richie's right. We should absolutely tell them that we want them to take them out. There is a Superfund law that requires the person that installed them, whoever owns it, is cradle to grave. So they have a part in this. They really should be paying us to, and those tanks, I wouldn't just pump them out. I would plan on pumping them, and they have to come out of the ground.
Right.
No matter what. I mean, they just have to come out. I would start on that this week.
So I would like to hear that in a motion then.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion that those,
Full board is involved,
okay.
not just ideas thrown out. We should make a motion now and follow up on it.
Okay, I'll
So it's on
entertain a
record.
motion that we,
who's gonna do this?
Town council,
No.
the motion.
The motion on the, okay, this.
that's what
couple
let's
motions.
clarify it then.
You should, first of all, a motion should be made by the board to have the town council draft a letter, okay, to the government. Now, I'm not sure which government we're talking about, whether it's, the
Sure what we want them
Specifically would be the Army Corps of Engineers.
Army Corps of Engineers, but also the Coast Guard. Who was the one responsible for running?
Well, under Fort Ruckman, it's the Army Corps of Engineers, so
I would get them, and don't let them give you a gobbledygook back. And then I'd also copy in the 2 U.S. senators and ask for help. Moulton, Congressman Moulton, and,
a new senator as of tomorrow.
yeah. But I'm saying, we need to get, and ask them in the body of the letter that we need assistance, being the smallest town in the Commonwealth, we don't have money for this government, and spell out the scenario. I so move that on the letter.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. The motion carries. Now, as far as pulling the tanks out, anybody want to make a motion?
I will make a motion that the 2 empty tanks be pulled out. I don't know where you're gonna get the money for this. It might be the emergency fund, but it shouldn't cost you more than, I can't imagine them, I don't know, it's during the winter and the ground's hard. So I imagine we might wanna wait.
Well,
The ground
until
gets
the-
softer
yeah.
so that we can dig it out. It can't be that low, it can't be that deep.
Yeah,
Thought,
They're below the frost line.
thought that
Yes.
we hold off on the 2 tanks until they get, his committee works further on it.
You get a
And
price.
then maybe we can get all tanks at once?
Yeah.
A bargain?
Yes.
Or by then, with the letters and with the help, we can get more help from the,
Why don't you guys do that for now? I understand what you're saying, but if we pull all the tanks, then we're responsible for putting electric heat in, which means that, or putting oil tanks on the outside the building. So, again, this is why I think it's important that we direct these guys to make a decision
to sell them.
to sell them.
Okay.
To divide the lots up and sell them. 14 lots, 12 lots, 15 lots. I don't know what it is with zoning restrictions. I think just we keep going over this. It's been since 2005 and 2008, so we're talking about 10 years, and we've gotten nowhere. So I think we need to direct them in what we want.
Well, we can do that, but we all finished with the oil tanks for now?
Yep. Well, only because, I'm saying, because we need to do something.
Yeah,
And if we start pulling fuel tanks out, then we have to put new heat in, and then we're gonna be underwater on it.
And it's gonna be very costly at this time of the year.
Right.
Because the ground's hard. They'd have to jackhammer the ground to even get, below 5 feet to get, frost is at least 5 feet down.
So we'll stick with the letter.
Right.
And the second one, we'll pull that motion. Well, no, it's never seconded anyway, so we'll worry about that down the road.
I think Pete should have an emergency meeting to let us know.
We are meeting
What it's gonna cost.
Wednesday night.
Okay.
I hope to have numbers by, I wanted to have them by tonight, but unfortunately, I didn't get the right attachment.
All right.
And I'll be honest with you, I like to have you move along on these proposals. And I wouldn't wait till next year or a special town meeting. I'd get it ready for April. I know that's pushing you, but you've got the month of February, March, and actually the month of April. We could put a spot in before we go to press for that issue. We need to get this thing moving, whether it's whatever the board wants, the decision of the board. That's a direction. Sell them as is, the 12 units, put the condos and houses in, and I don't know what the other option is.
We have 11.
Well, that's what I'm saying, you can't...
And obviously, some of those who go, by the wayside, but
Yeah, but I mean, we just can't continue on going through hearings, meetings, it's like the Valley Road School. We just kept fooling with that. And finally, it just came down to the one to tear it down and put 2 houses. And then decisions were made at the last moment, very last minute. On a Saturday morning to leave it, they raised the 75,000. So I just, it's hard to, we need so much housing in the town. There's widows in here, and they're sitting on their homes, and the homes are too big for them, and they like to move into a condo or a small house, whatever, something, that we, and that's, I'm hearing that. I mean, okay, the other thing is, Enzo's suggestion is sell them as is. Subdivide it and make sure it's all subdivided. I thought it was subdivided for some reason.
it's
It
never
is,
gone.
but it isn't. It was never recorded.
Recorded? Okay, well, if you're gonna go with that, we should get them recorded so we can, get them sold.
I mean,
I would start moving, pushing your committee a little bit to get, you have to get going because we'll keep, to put this off another year, there's other big things coming down the pike here for the finances for the town. And, that's the other side of the coin. Just wait, I don't know, that's
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I had asked and pushed that you come here, and I think it's wonderful, because we were downstairs when you people were working, still working, meeting regularly, I know that. You said, just in conversation now, that there are 11 proposals, and 11 ideas.
Yep.
We could call that 11 ideas. That's progress, because you're going to whittle those down. And I agree with Richie, we should whittle them down, but maybe at some point soon, but up to your committee, that you come up with your top 4, for us to give direction to. I think that will help all. And as much as I want it done quickly, I'd rather it be done correctly,
right.
And I know you guys are working hard.
Yeah, I mean, we've been spending, a lot of time making sure that whatever we propose is going to be likable and acceptable to the community. I mean, we have to satisfy the town, we have to satisfy the neighbors, we have to satisfy financial obligations, and that's what we're looking at. And, to Richie's point, we have elderly, we have reduced enrollment at the Johnson School, and, young families moving in, and those are all of, the criteria that we're working with. So it's more gathering the information so that we can score criteria against our options.
My thoughts are that this was not supposed to happen this way. What was supposed to happen was, because it failed miserably the last 3 times, that we move in the direction of either splitting the lots up or something on that effect. The condo thing never worked, didn't work. You know, I know Richie says he's hearing that they want condos and, but again, there's restrictions on them, because you can't have a house bigger than 30 feet. So how do you put that many condos out there? It's all on one, it'll all have to be on one level. It doesn't make sense. I mean, if you had a big building, that's different, okay? Again, I think it's, or townhouses, or a developer. I mean, personally, I don't want a developer. I really don't, because I think that we couldn't even sell them for $2 million, the development. We couldn't sell it to a developer. And when you can't, we paid $2 million for it. And I can tell you, if I'm still on the Board of Selectmen, I won't sell it for anything less than $3 million. I just won't do it. I won't sign it. Somebody else can, but I won't. Because I think it's imperative that we get something out of it. And I think that, you know, if we keep going around and around and around, again, I'll say this again, it's been since 2008. I think we need to direct you in the, more towards trying to find a way, an avenue to sell them as is, not as is so much as maybe 14 lots instead of 12, because they are bigger than 10,000 square feet. The ones in the back, over near the golf course that have a view, you're gonna get more for them. I mean, we can make some money on them. And I think if they're priced reasonably, they're gonna tear them down and put nicer houses there. And with that, we need to direct the planning board, and that's why I want it on the warrant, that we allot $50,000 this year for professional services for the planning and legal fees and whatever it takes to, first of all, with Northeastern, because we have a dilemma up there. So we need to have some money put aside for that. And I think I emailed you that today, so.
It's in there.
It's in there?
Yep.
Okay. I want that on the warrant, and I think we need to have some money set aside for this to come up with better planning for this town, because otherwise we're gonna run into trouble. We already have. And it's getting very sticky. And you know something? I think we need to just do that and get it done with. And we need to work on this and just get rid of it. Because otherwise, I'm telling you, oil tanks can be a nightmare. I've said this over and over again. I said it at your meetings. I said it a year ago. I'm in the business, and I know what the end result can be. So, that's my recommendation. That's all I got to say.
Well, I think we're putting too much in one article. We need to separate, and I don't want to, Northeastern, this is Northeastern problem up here. That needs to be a separate article. And as we've been misled by them, and I really don't want to get the
No, I don't need.
Coast Guard housing mixed up in that. We need a
Well,
separate...
we're not. It's just an amount of money for
No, but I think we need X amount of dollars, and I don't want to limit the money to them or anything else to, you know, what you need, but I think you should come back, get a price tag to remove those tanks, and, but we need to write a letter, and then whatever the cost is, the estimated cost, you get a contractor to rip them up and estimate the cost. Somebody will give you a price.
Right.
And real quickly, add it to the body of the letter, send it by the town council out to, that's what I would do. And that, you know, get it, so we keep everything in the same with your committee, and have your committee, and I mean, there's only certain ways up there. The neighbors don't want a lot of big, you know, condos, 30 condos, but maybe 20. I just think, you know, you get 20 homes, you know what I mean, turned over in the town, which would prove 20 kids, 20 families with kids to move into the school, which needs, you know, some warm bodies over there. Well, that's, you know, but we keep playing with this it's one way or the other. And the ultimate is the jury being the town meeting. We take these proposals, I would say 1 or 2 or 3, I wouldn't take any more, and present it to the town meeting and let them vote on it. And if they don't vote on it and it doesn't pass, well, no, we just have to keep going. I mean, it's got to be one or the other. But if we just keep going and turn it around, I mean, it's getting to the point where we're just year after year, where, you know, of course, there's a good scenario here. the rent is causing us, what, 125,000 profit?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's, that's a pretty good thing to have. I mean, we're just, whatever time, haven't lost anything, and we're making 125,000 every year, which is going to our free cash. But,
It balances our budget. I disagree. It balances our budget, which is a big mistake.
Big mistake.
Big mistake. And how many years have we been paying interest only?
I want to say 15.
Okay, so it's roughly $18,000 a year? Interest only? So add that up. It's a mistake. Manning was right. I mean, you gotta pay some of the principal down. We're not doing it. They gotta go. I'm gonna make the recommendation that we just sell them. And it's gone on way too long, the condo thing, and everybody has these ideas, and again, we're gonna get bit. I'm telling you, we're gonna get bit.
don't tell us, tell them, tell the committee, say, "Hey, this is my suggestion."
That's my
I
suggestion.
mean, if you're giving us a different direction, I'll bring that back to the committee, and, we'll
I think we need the direction should be,
I so move that direction.
okay.
Sell them.
just and this wouldn't change regardless of, this direction. One of the things that we talked about recently was the need for a surveyor, to hire a surveyor. We have that existing plan that Mark did several years ago.
Right.
If we look at, 14 lots or whatever,
Yeah.
we're going to need to figure out how to break up the real estate.
And we need to get on the planning board, again, and make sure that they have zoning restrictions in there. We should probably look at a zoning restriction. Again, they should be working on a zoning restriction to make the Florida area ratio 25% in the town,
So
or
that could be
30%.
that could be worked into any deed restrictions. So the sale of the property itself can carry all of that.
Right, okay.
We were advised somewhere along the line that deed restrictions can be broken, and then after years go by, people forget about them. And somebody suggested a zoning overlay.
Well, did you ask the town council for an opinion?
Not yet.
Well, let's get him on it. Right.
Get him in, and we'll send him down to you. Okay? Can we get the town council to meet with him?
Yeah.
And go through all your questions, so you have an opinion and have it written. So when you put the pile together and we close it on the town meeting floor, that file goes together.
Okay.
So
Mr. Taylor has a motion on the floor.
My motion is that we direct the Coast Guard Housing Design Development Committee to proceed on selling them as individual properties.
Do we have a second? You don't want a second for discussion?
I'll second for discussion, yeah.
Okay. Second, discussion?
Something has to be done. I'll just go into the finances quickly, but that we paid down twice in the last 10 years, the principal. We haven't paid it down. We've been paying $30,000 in interest. Everyone says, oh yeah, we're well aware of this, well aware of this.
Times 15.
Times 15. And if we had spent paying it down, I just think it's time to move on.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed?
Aye.
The motion carries.
Okay.
Try looking at that, all right? We won't hold you to it.
Nope. We have our marching
The
orders.
direction. And
This is right.
Listen,
A direction. That's
Peter,
all.
I've been pushing this because I've been getting a lot of,
Yep.
because of
Absolutely.
transparency, and there's nothing more important than people being involved in this town. I was involved in 2 town administrative search committees as chairman, and the process does work, and you sift out through stuff. Sometimes it takes its lumps. Oh, sort of like being a selectman. But I appreciate all that you people doing.
Thank you.
You know, and I know you're busy, and it's not that you're not working.
Right.
I understand that.
Oh, yeah, I
None offense taken.
take that.
I
Please
mean,
don't.
The committee coming out, I saw you the other night when we were downstairs.
Right.
I saw you guys, hey,
And having it in front of the TV with you here as chairman is transparency.
Yep.
It's not, he said this to this one, and this one said that to that. No, it's right here where it should be. And thank you for this.
yep. Thank you. All right.
Speaking on that article, thank you, Peter.
Thank you so much.
You have a meeting tonight, too? Oh, so you need that recorded for Wednesday night? Okay, good, all right. Well, Peggy will be here all day tomorrow, believe me, this is the election. So where is that article?
Article 27?
Okay. To see if the town will vote to appropriate $50,000 for professional services for the purpose of zoning regulations, including the payment of all costs incidental or related thereto, and to determine whether this appropriation shall be raised by borrowing otherwise or to take any other action relevant thereto. This is essentially, I asked Jeff to put this in there. I think it's worded okay. It might have to be tweaked, but it's for, we need some money. We all agree on that for Northeastern, you know, to figure out how we're gonna get this done. And we're gonna need legal money, and we're gonna need, because this isn't gonna go away. Okay? Richie, you wanna speak on that?
The article is too wide open. We should have an article directly involving Northeastern. We need to stop the expansion plan that's going on up there, and future expansion plans. So the article should be written and spelled out to stop the expansion plan at Northeastern, you know, effective immediately. Okay, and then if we and then appropriate money, we need to get the law firm involved with Serge.
Yeah.
And we can add the money as we get closer to April. So how much money we actually need, but that should be a specific, you know, goal in that article to prevent Northeastern from expanding any further, okay? And just handle just Northeastern. I know you want...
Well, we can tweak it. No, it's got nothing to do with the Coast Guard. We can tweak it.
No, the Coast Guard, we could handle that separately and write a separate article.
This is specifically for Northeastern.
This is specifically, and we need, I don't know, I'm not saying how much we need. We've got to get a law firm that's handling environmental, you know, concerns, okay? Like you suggested, to be down the coast.
We have
on the Cape.
Wood's whole group, the attorney that's handling, not the 40 steps preventment.
Yeah, Chip Nyland.
Right.
Yep.
They're good. And this was just a last minute thing. I called them today on it to put it on the warrant so that we can, because we need to. I mean, the meeting is coming up on the 15th, by the way, at 7:30, and it's going to be dedicated strictly to that. And Northeastern's supposed to come in and give us a presentation of what they want to do. And
I thought the presentations were over from Northeastern.
No, they haven't given us it. I haven't seen one. Have you seen the presentation?
Didn't you meet with them and get a copy of the plan?
No, they're not going to give it.
But they didn't meet before the board.
Right, they
I
come in,
went before the board.
they've showed people, other people, 4 plans. I've seen 1. So there's something wrong. To me, there's something wrong with this whole picture, so I want to get them in and let them show. I'm actually I've called John Tobin, and I want to see a set of plans, or a conceptual design of what it's going to look like, where it's going to be, before the meeting, so that people can see it, because otherwise it's not going to work. I mean, it just...
They must have a slide presentation for that.
Well, they do, but I'm sure they do. And they've showed it to... The abutters had a meeting. We weren't invited to it. I felt kind of left out, didn't you?
No, they asked for a meeting with me.
I know.
And they were even going to come down to my house. And I said, absolutely not. Because they deceived me when the last time, Jeff, am I correct? They said there'd be no more expansion programs. And they kind of misled us the last time we were here. I mean, last time we dealt with Northeastern. And I'm hearing all kinds of rumors, you know.
Well, we'll
To
get
me,
them in.
they've given us scraps. I mean, they've given us 2 half scholarships, which is $30,000 each. That's $60,000. I got to make sure that $25,000 was received at Johnson School. Would you check on that?
It was.
Debbie Waters?
Yeah.
From Debbie Waters,
Yeah.
check that.
We have a letter on that.
So you're looking at $85,000. They haven't given us a dime for 51 years. They haven't paid for a fire truck, a fire engine. Maybe they step up and pay for the new sewer line that going across the causeway. But nothing. We've got nothing. I mean, and we had to ask them. They never offered. They never, we had to go after them after we sent them a bill. I sent them a bill for $3.2 million because that's what they owed us in real estate taxes. And now, you know, this is getting to the point now they're gonna put this, $30 million.
50.
Well, I heard 30, and I'm not sure exactly what the number is.
That's why
And this
they
has
have,
nothing to do with Vernon Street.
that's why they have to come up here, fellas.
Yeah,
A heard 30, B heard 50, I heard nothing.
Yeah,
So I want them here.
and then they're gonna open up Vernon Street, okay? Which is another, never heard that one. And they're gonna open that up, that's gonna be the entrance to the property.
What are they gonna do with that? There's a mountain right in front of it. There's the bunker right there.
That bunker is gonna be a new classroom.
No, I don't, how are they gonna drive, they're gonna drive through it somehow. That's gonna be the driveway, right? How are they gonna do it? I know,
Gentlemen, could we get
Right.
back to the motion? Because he said,
Well, I
want them here.
meant the motion, we need to rewrite the motion, for the article for the warrant, that, the Board of Selectmen, I hope we vote tonight, to stop the expansion program, and Northeastern effective immediately, and to put an article in the warrant that would, you know, jeopardize, you know, would copy that, so we have, and the townspeople have a chance to vote on this, okay? So that would be the Board of Selectmen's vote tonight, hopefully. The 15th will reinforce that vote, and then the April town meeting, we'll get a whole town meeting to vote on it. So that and then by then we have a law firm in place so that we can, and then put a price tag on that, separate thing. I so move that.
I second.
Okay. For discussion, okay, I understand what you're saying, but I'm not so sure we can put a article in the warrant that says to stop Northeastern University from doing anything. I think we need to word it the way it is without their name in it. I don't see how we can do that legally, but I think that, you know, and I'm not a lawyer, but I think $50,000 is plenty of money. I mean, I've been talking to a couple of people, and to come up with, the way I had written it is different from this, but
To Richie's point, instead of identifying the amount, we can put some for now, and then when we get closer, when we do the motion, we can put the sum in.
okay, we can, all right.
Yeah, so I can do some, and then I can,
By then, yeah.
Okay.
I can broaden the wording such that it allows for zoning changes that would affect a whole host of issues.
Right.
That would be part of it.
Well, I think I had written that open space, that would affect open space. That is open space up there. So maybe we can put that in there instead
Well, both.
of both.
Open space and zoning.
Right, and zoning.
And zoning.
Because it is zoning, it's part of zoning, and it's open space.
And then-
And from what I understand, they're gonna have an issue with this, because from what I understand, there's like 65 species of bees up there, and they're gonna wanna defoliate the whole area, which would interfere with that. And these are they're all pollinators, so, I think I have Linda Pivacek coming to the meeting with her, and I hopefully the Audubon Society's gonna come, so we should be ready.
Good.
All right.
We need a,
So we can work on that, because we can always open the warrant again. Let's get this right.
Yeah, and right now, all you're doing is you're passing this to the FinCom, so that's all you're doing. It's in its rough form.
Well, we
We'll
have
continue
to-
to work on
you
it.
can have Dan rewrite it.
Yeah, exactly.
I just wanted to let people know that we are thinking, you know, we're not sitting on our hands, we're doing something about this.
So can we
There's a right way and a wrong way.
Can we amend that to take out Northeastern for now? And have Dan amend it?
Sure, so Article 27 will reference open space and zoning amendments, and then we'll identify some.
Right.
And then when we get to the motions, what we'll do is we'll bore down and give
Okay.
more detail.
Good.
And the motions don't have to be written for another month.
Is that acceptable?
Absolutely.
Well, I just want to make sure we get Northeastern in there somehow in the article, so people know, and the townspeople are going to know that the town is upset with this, and the fathers, I hope we get a vote tonight. I'm going to make a motion in a minute, okay? And then we'll vote again on the 15th with the people. And by the way, the 15th, you guys will put max chairs in here, because it's gonna be, they've got a flyer coming up, the neighbors,
Yeah.
and they're putting their own case. The reason why the money situation at 50, if we have to go to Superior Court, you know, and get involved with the lawsuit, which...
We can always appropriate money for it.
You're getting,
We can always come up with the money for it, if it goes that far.
okay, I'm just,
And that's fine, I understand.
I understand.
I think it's a start anyway, so, and we'll work on it.
I don't wanna, mince my words. I wanna direct this at Northeastern University. And they know that we made a motion to, this is directly right in here. We want the expansion program to stop. It was not the intent of our fathers giving them the property up there, okay? Taking cold water out and putting warm water out there, killing all the, I was wondering why the water was so warm up there sometimes, and now I know. But I mean,
What would you think you were in Bermuda?
well, it's like, we've got to protect the lobster industry, and they're upset. They're angry and upset, and they're fired up, and I don't blame them. This is their livelihood, and we can't have any, and I'm very surprised at what they're doing, to be honest with you.
Well, I think it's the way they're doing it, it's just not, they didn't let...
Well, they had a public hearing. It was a state agency that held the public hearing.
I was there.
And they were surprised that the people showed up. They found out about it, and that's what tipped the whole thing off here,
I talked to Coastal Zone Management about it today, and they won't respond to it yet because the ENF was retracted, so they're gonna wait. But there's different things they wanna, that we should ask. And I have a list of questions.
So wait,
we will.
for the public, what was retracted?
The ENF, the Environmental Notification Form for MEPA, and it's really just,
But retracted by whom?
by Northeastern.
Okay.
Yeah, so they
what
retracted
reason?
their, because they saw that people were pretty upset.
Okay,
That
so
they were
that's a
gonna stop
start.
it. They wanted us to pull in 20,
And second, if I may, congratulations on the 15th. The feedback has been phenomenal.
yeah,
People will be here.
yeah, oh,
We
yeah,
can at least get things.
yeah,
the ball
and we need to, they need to,
Good job.
they need to be ready.
Well,
They need to be ready, we need to be ready too, we need to ask questions.
we pulled him, you and I pulled him, both pulled him through on this.
What did I do wrong now? All right, so, moving on.
That was good, though. This is
So that was Coast Guard housing. Now we're at budget.
budget, yes.
Then we'll come back and revisit the warrant.
Oh, can I just?
Sure.
So, it's your report now, all right. But I want to just add that we have an extra $425,000 in free cash this year, and that's really solely due to Kathy Famulari, who went after the
Tax title.
tax title. She was able to reel in $425,000, so congratulations to her for doing a good job.
Thank you, Kathy.
All right.
Okay,
Town
okay.
Administrator's report.
The first item has to do with the FY 2019 budget. You have held two meetings. The first meeting was to hear reports from the large department heads, and the second one was to review the town administrator recommended budget. You've made two minor changes to the overall budget, and now it's back before you to have you vote to pass it on to the Finance Committee so they can continue their process starting tomorrow night. And you have a vote on that.
Okay.
Yeah, I move, Mr. Chairman, that the Board of Selectmen vote to endorse the revised town administrator and the selectmen budget for fiscal year 2019 and to forward it to the Finance and Advisory Committee for their ongoing review in the fiscal year 2019 budget and development program. I so move that.
Second.
All those for discussion, any discussion on it? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, the motion carries, so we can pass it on to them.
Great, thank you. The next item is the annual town meeting warrant. You have the warrant before you in substantially the same form. What I need you to do is vote to pass this to the Finance Committee. At the next meeting, won't be the 15th, but the first meeting in March, we'll start to dissect this, and then I can get you to tell me your preferences. Council and I'll start to give you background information on this. The warrant just closed on the 31st, and so we're now seeing what we have. Pass this on to the Finance Committee, and they'll come back and we'll start to we'll either keep them on or take them off. So at this point, all I need is a vote for you to pass it on to the Finance Committee for their review.
I so move.
Second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next item is the annual report cover. We have two preferred options before you for the front and back page. We don't need to really talk about them other than for you to tell us whether you like them or not. And this is 3C.
Yep. Yes. I just said yep. Yes. I'm thoroughly overwhelmed. I'm sure Richie agrees.
It's just the,
Front
I
and
got
back.
one report, the Nahant annual report.
Yeah.
Yes. So this
Is
is
that the
3C.
tall ships?
Yep.
We're not supposed to say anything.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Where's the other one?
Right behind it.
Right behind it, but don't say a word.
Don't say a word.
Yeah,
Don't say a word.
don't have,
And I'm thoroughly impressed, too.
I haven't seen it. Oh, here it is.
Coming.
there you go. It's,
Where is it? Yes,
Absolutely.
Great, isn't it?
yeah,
good.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you for
So
that.
thumbs up from the three of you.
Yes.
Excellent.
yeah, that's very nice.
Great.
Yep.
Next item is item 3D. This time of year, we have to vote to renew or place on the warrant the revolving funds, and you have a motion before you. And this is a
Want me to do it, Richie?
Yeah, right.
I move the Board of Selectmen vote to approve the revolving funds for Council of Aging, Cemetery, and Recreation for placement on the April 28th, 2018 town warrant.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next item is, this is an item that has been moved from meeting to meeting for the last couple, so I'm not quite sure what this is, town hall office hours?
Okay, well, I had brought this up. We've had several requests, I've had several requests, that the town hall be open on a Friday all day. They get Thursdays off, Thursday nights off now, and that was never replaced with anything other than coming in at 7:30 in the morning. Most people don't come up here at 7:30 in the morning. So I think that the hours could be 8 to 4, like they were back when, and then a full day on Friday. I mean, that's just my opinion. It's what I think should be done. I mean, when people call, they want to be able to get a hold of somebody up here.
So change the overall office hours to 8 to 4, and then have Friday at the same?
Yeah, it's just 8 to 4, yeah. I mean, it's still a 37-hour week, the way it is, because they have a half-hour lunch, right? That was the intent of that whole thing. T, Richie, anybody?
I agree, because one of the reasons I agree is that the trash and phone calls.
Right.
It seems to have gotten better, but I jokingly said instead of going Thursday, Friday, we should go Wednesday, Thursday, because we're closed Friday. But this way, at least we'll be open in the afternoon.
Right, and it hasn't gotten better, because I still got complaints the other day. What I'm telling people to do now is just call the police department, and they do. And then, of course, the DPW's got to go out on a Saturday and get overtime, so, which is ridiculous to me, but you know something, I don't want to go, I can't go into it anymore. I think this will help. So if somebody doesn't get their trash picked up by a Friday and it's 4 o'clock, they can just say, hey, look, my trash wasn't picked up, we need to send somebody out and get it. It's a thought.
Yeah, would you like to hear from the affected personnel, just to see their thoughts, or?
Yeah, I think we should. I think we should hold off making any decisions to, after the election, after the town meeting, and then, if we're gonna vote it, give us some change and maybe, give the time span in there so that, for July 1st, you know what I mean, so that people can adjust their work schedule, especially if they have kids, and et cetera, so. But I mean, I always thought Thursday night, the town hall was open for people that couldn't make it to the town hall
Right.
during the day. I mean, they come up here and it's open to 8 o'clock or something like that?
It's open at 7:30.
To 7:30 at night. And I just thought that was a good idea. But before we do that, I would,
No, it changed within seconds. How did that change? How did it change?
I was gonna just ask you that, Richie. Can you remember how it changed back to eliminating
well, it
Thursday
started,
night?
we had complaints about the town hall's never open.
Oh, I know, but how did it change
Thursday
back from
nights.
being to closing Thursday nights?
Well, I don't know when it changed. I thought it was always open.
No, it must have been about 5, 6 years ago, and from what I understand... there
Thursday
was-
night was closed?
Yeah.
You guys voted on it. Board of Selectmen voted on it.
From what I understand, there was no activity on Thursday nights, and so it was reevaluated.
So we didn't open up Friday afternoon then?
Nope, so what you do is 7:30 to,
Oh, they opened up during the day.
so they opened up early on the 4 days, then half day on Friday.
Well, I still think we should give them an opportunity to speak on it, number one, before we have a final vote. And then I'd get it set up in advance, so July 1st, we change it. You know what I mean? Give them time, a couple months after town meeting to make your adjustment. Or, you know, because this is a change for all the people up here. I mean, it's just an idea.
Mr. T? You want to hear from the individuals?
Yeah, but I don't wanna drag, what good is it gonna be for after the election and town meeting?
Well, they're not going to want it.
And they're gonna probably, well, they may think that they may think that coming in at 7:30, there's not much going on till 9 or 8:30.
No one's going to want to work Friday afternoons. This is a tough decision to make for us.
I know.
And I know that it's not a great decision. I mean, it's not a great thing to do, but I'm just looking over for the overall benefit of the town. I personally think it should be open on a Friday afternoon. I just do. I mean, until at least 3:30, 4. Like it, you know.
Yeah, I do too.
If anybody wants to put that into a motion, I'll be more than happy to.
So I moved that the town hall offices be 8 to 4, Monday through Friday.
Do I have a second?
I'll have a second for discussion.
Okay, discussion.
Would you like to delay it for, what I'll have to do is take a look at how much it will cost for us to, we've got to change a lot of information that's out there right now, that specifies the day and time. I mean, I just need to understand what that'll entail.
Costs?
Cost for, we have printed documents that identify, the hours of town hall, cards, et cetera.
Okay. All right, yeah, do that. And,
Okay, I rescind the motion.
okay.
But to be put on a meeting close down in the future, down the road here. Close to it.
First meeting in March would be
Yeah,
it.
first meeting of March,
And we'll make our decision then.
yes.
I would like to, at least, get that rolling. Okay.
Plus, we may hear from taxpayers between now and then,
I hope so. I hope they're, well, I don't know if they're watching because it's a Monday night, so.
Monday night. But
Right.
we'll reiterate on the 15th.
Okay. We can.
Because Richie had said he wants to think about motions not only tonight, but on the 15th also. That's a good idea.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, we have some use request forms. The first one is for the 40 Steps dance performance. You have a motion on that?
I moved that the,
Oh, okay, good.
I move that the Board of Selectmen vote to approve the 40 Steps dance performance at Town Hall, March 23rd, 2018, from 6 to 10 p.m.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
There's no conflicting dates or anything.
No. My next one is the favorite one, is the Curious Creatures. You should come to it or bring your grandchildren. And you have a
Oh,
motion on
yeah.
that as well.
Where's that?
Want me to do that, Rich?
I can't, what page is that on?
That is
Yeah.
3G.
3G. Hold on. No, it's swim. Oh, good. I don't know how come I missed these things. I move that the Board of Selectmen vote to approve the library's Curious Creatures at Town Hall Wednesday, February 21st, 10:30 to 11:30.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Lastly, Swim has a beach cleanup on May 6th, and you have a motion on that.
I move the Board of Selectmen vote to approve SWIM's beach cleanup day on Sunday, May 6th, 2018, 12 to 2:30.
I'll second the motion for discussion.
Okay, discussion.
You're gonna have the Public Works system?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. It's an annual event. It goes very well.
Yeah, it does. And actually, I go down there every year. It's actually pretty good. A lot of junk down there.
By the way, while I'm on this Public Works, have we got a fill-in coming in?
We have it posted, and we have some really interested parties at this
Oh,
point.
good.
Yeah.
All right.
Back to
Is
you,
there
Mo.
someone in town?
One
Okay.
candidate so far.
Okay, good.
All those in favor of that motion?
Aye.
Motion carries.
That's all I have for the town administrator report.
Okay, old business, none. New business technology, but that's,
Under old business,
okay.
just, if anyone is watching, I want to thank Peter for coming tonight. I know you feel the same way. Let everybody in town hear it. It's not an easy process. Thank you.
Yeah, you can see, I think, to me, that's a lot of time and effort you're putting into it. We appreciate it. I do. It's a difficult decision one way or the other, because you get, especially the neighbors up there, and you get all the, there's so much need. But I think, down the road, when Enzo's hit a point, we need to look at all this stuff, because, I want to do this. The Catholic Church up in Nahant Road, and the Rectory, that's probably gonna be coming up soon. And that's gonna be another project we gotta look at. So we need to get the planning board, things like that in line. That could be, we could go on that area. There's a lot of movement.
Well, we need to be on top of all this stuff, Richie. I mean, and T, I think
Yeah,
it,
that's why your idea about money is
Right.
great.
and I think that the planning board, how many, there's one seat available.
Yes.
Okay, and I bet there's a couple of seats that are gonna be,
Oh, may I again on old business, please?
oh, yeah, sure.
On the subject of the planning board, I would love to see the Big Nahant rights of ways looked at. Right of ways, rights of way, I think it's called, because there are a lot in Big Nahant. Well, not a lot, but there's enough that have been taken over.
Plenty of them. And you know something, they promised us they were gonna do this, so they gotta, we need them to get rolling on the right of ways. You're absolutely right.
Just came to me. If you could, thank you.
Right. Okay, so. Technology, there's nothing there right yet, but we're working on that. And closing announcements. The town hall will be closed President's Day, February 19th, 2018. And I think that's it. I think that's all we got.
Okay.
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Pedro, we're all through.